Yes, students, today I'm going to explain you a very important topic, analytical paragraph writing. This is recently introduced by CBSE in place of story writing. This topic is very interesting and scary. Let's learn about it. What is analytical paragraph writing? This form of writing is used to interpret the facts presented in the form of table, graph, or chart. A graph or a chart is a visual stimulus to depict the data. Data interpretation requires an analysis and comparison of the given facts and drawing conclusions based on the given data. So what this is about? This is about interpreting the facts. What do you mean by interpret? Means to explain in your own words about the facts that is given to you in form of a table, a graph, or a chart. A graph or a chart is a visual stimulus. Means this will be in a visual form that will be a like of hint to you on the basis of which you can depict the data. Means you can describe the data. Data interpretations requires an analysis and comparison of the given facts. What you have to do in it? You will have to study the data very carefully. You have to analyze it, and then you have to draw a comparison on the basis of the given facts, and then you have to reach at a conclusion. So in this way, you will have to write the analytical paragraph writing. It can be divided into three parts. The first part one is called introduction, second is body, and third one is conclusion. The first paragraph of analytical paragraph, what you have to do, you have to introduce your thesis. Thesis means the depiction, or you can say the illustrate. You have to illustrate the data, what is given to you. Second is body. You will have to write all the stages. What is the trend or the changes, the nature of the changes, whether it is going up or falling down, what is the degree of falling down, and whether it is stable or not. And then at the last, you have to reach the third element, conclusion, in which you have to summarize in a one or two sentence about what has been drawn, or how you will summarize it in few words. There may be these kinds of charts just as in front of you. The first one is bar graph, in which you can see there are some vertical lines represented with different colors: black, red, yellow, or green. This is called bar graph. The next one is the line graph. As you can see, there are the four different lines representing different datas, and then a pie chart with different colors and different data. And the last one is table. You will have one of these topic in your exam. On the basis of your understanding, you have to write the analytical paragraph. Here I have some vocabulary for you which will help you to interpret a graph. If suppose if you have been given a graph or the line graph, a table, or particular topic maybe, then how to start it, how to introduce your topic. It should be very interesting, appealing, and effective. You can start in any of these using these phrases. Just like if there is any topic, you can start like that: I would like you to look at the data presented in form of a graph or so. But if you think that this is a graph, so how you can start it? This graph shows, the diagram outlines, this table lists, this chart represents, this chart depicts about so and so, this chart breaks down in different categories. So you can begin your uh, this paragraph in any, using any phrase of these. To illustrate my points, let's look at this graph. As you can see from these data given in the form of a graph, if you look at this, you will see, notice, understand. So this is the vocabulary that will help you to begin your paragraph. Next is the second stage, that is called the body. you will find that in body either the graph is going up or down, or is it, or it is stable, no change it is. So which are the vocabularies that you can use to describe it? So if the graph is going up, then how you can use the different vocabularies in this case: increase, rise, rocket, climb, lift, grow, go up, jump, surge, shoot up, soar. A rocket, a rise, increase, growth, an upward, rising, increasing trend, an improvement, a jump, surge, extend, expand, push, put, step up, and progression. All these vocabularies, they will help you to write when you have to describe a graph going up. But if you think that is started falling down, coming down, then you can use such kind of vocabulary like decrease, drop, decline, fall, go down, slump, plumpet, a fall, a decrease, a decline, a downward, falling, decreasing trend, or a slump. If you think that there is no change in a period of time, you find that the data is the same, there is no change, then you can write remain stable, constant, steady at, stay at the same level, stabilize, keep stable, hold constant. If you want to tell or indicate a change of direction, means from going this to the other side, means from beginning to the end, then what kind of the vocabulary you can use? That is level out, off, stand at, stop falling, rising, stop falling, start rising, stop rising, and start falling, or change. Means you will have to add either a word stop or a rising. These two words will help you to tell about the direction of a change. If you think that there is a frequent change, means the changes are taking place frequently again and again, then you can use fluctuate. At the top, if you think this is the maximum degree of the point where, from where either it will start coming down, reach a peak, reach its their highest point, you will find that after reaching this peak point, the graph will start falling down. At the bottom, where you will find it has, after reaching this point, the particular graph has started going up, reach, hit a low, hit, reach its their lowest point. There are some adverbs that will help you to tell about the describing changes. Yes, degrees, dramatical change, a vast change, hugely increasing point, a lot, significantly, considerably, moderately, slightly, substantially, a little. If you want to tell about the speed of the graph going up and down, then you can say rapidly, rapidly, quickly, swiftly, gradually, gently, little by little, slowly, or quietly. There are some kind of prepositions that you have to be very careful while using. The graph that has a initial point and then an ending point, means for the period of time. How to express such a condition? A rise from x to y, means suppose something has started from a point 2010 and in continued till 2020. So x is to 2010 and y is to 2020, to increase by 5%. If you find something that there is an increase of so and so percentage, then you can write to increase by 5. By is here preposition. Or you can write this in other words also, just as an increase of 5% in. So in and by, this is preposition. Just same in the first one, the from to. So this is preposition. Here I have an example to show you how to describe a bar graph. Here I have a question for you. The bar chart below shows the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities. Summarize the information in the chart by selecting and reporting the main features. Make comparisons where relevant. Now you can see the first year, that is 1992. The next one is 2002, and the last is 2012. The blue line is presented with men, and the red line is representing the number of women. Now on the X line, you can see that here we have the number of students studying engineering. If we started from 0 to 2000, and then 4000, 6000, 8000, 10,000, 12, 14, and last 16,000. Now you observe this bar graph very, very carefully, very minutely to reach at your description. In 1992, what do you observe? What is the comparison of the men and women? What is the initial number of the women that is represented with red color? That is 2000. And if we will see the number of the men in the same year is 14,000. So there is a greatest difference among between these two. But if we go to 2002, then you will find that the number of women is increased, whereas the number of men is decreased. The number of men is decreased by 2000, and whereas the number of women is decreased by 2000. So this is the difference. And if you come to 2012, you will find that if we compare 2012 with 2002, there is a difference of 2000 of women, that is increased by 2000. But if we compare the number of men who are studying engineering with the um, women in 2002, you will find that the number of men who are studying engineering is the same in 2002 and 2012. But the number of women who are studying engineering is increased relatively to 2002. In 2002, it was 4,000, but it has increased to 6,000 in 2012. So this is the analysis that we have done. Now we have to give this information in our analytical paragraph writing. So this is the way that we have to write our paragraph. The first paragraph is introduction. The bar chart illustrates means explains, depicts the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities between the years 1992 and 2012 at 10 years interval. So what is the tip to write the introduction? You will have to tell the data, what information is provided in this graph. Secondly, what is the time reference given here? These are the two elements that you have to mention in introduction. Then comes body part. What you have to write in body, you will have to write how the individual graph of the men and the women is going in all the years. And then you will have to give a comparison study, a comparison detail about the men and women in all the 3 years. This is called the body. And then at the last, you will have to tell at what conclusion you reach. What have you summarized? That is to be, or what do you have your opinion about this graph after studying this graph? So let's start. What, how to write? The bar chart illustrates the number of men and women. Here we have been given the information about the men and women who are studying engineering at Australian University. Now next we have been given the years 1992, 92 and 2012 at 10 years intervals. Now in body, we will see that it can be seen that the number of male students fell slightly means very lightly, from 14,000 in 1992 to 12,000 in 2002. Here we have been given the detail of what? The number of male students only from 1992 to 2002, and then remained level through the following decades. Decades means next 10 years, it remained level. Level means same. You will find that from 1992 and As you can see here, this is the same. You will find that it is the same here in, you will find this is the same in 2002 and 2012. And then the number of female student is relatively low starting at 2000 in 1992. When you observe it, what you will find in 1992, the number of female was comparatively very low if we compare it with men. However, while the number of men decreased, the number of women increased. In the next line, you will see that the difference is what? You will find that the number of men is decreasing. The number of men is decreasing and then it leveled off. But you will find the number of female is going up. It is increasing. This is that you have to write in it. And this led to a rise in the total number of engineering students from 16,000 to 18,000 in this period. When you will add the number of men and the women who are studying this, you will find that it is increased from 16,000 to 18,000 in this period. Men continue to make up the majority of the students. Earlier, the number of the men was in majority, even till now it is in majority. However, the proportion of female students is increasing sharply in this period. But there is no match. In 1992, there was one woman to every 7 men. But by 2012, this ratio is narrowed. Look at the vocabulary used here. Narrowed means the gap is decreased to 1 woman to every 2 men. Now come at the conclusion. Overall, look at the vocabulary again. Overall, when you have to give a summary, then we have to use this word. We can see a clear upward trend. Upward trend means the graph is going upward in the number of female engineering students in Australian universities, while the number of men students seems to have leveled off. Means first it started coming down and then it leveled off. Leveled off means parallel. There is no change. So this is the paragraph that is based on bar graph. So what is the tips to write such kind of detail? The first one is start by saying what the chart shows and the time period. Means when you have to give introduction, you will have to describe what information is provided and you have to connect it with the time period given in the graph. Then comes the body part. There are 2 elements in it. The first, you have to give a very precise information about the things that you have been provided over there. And then you will have to give a comparison and of the information given there. Talk about differences or similarities between the groups shown to you. And then you have to write conclusion you have to conclude by saying what the main trends or changes are. Now comes to the pie chart. Here I have one question. The pie chart below illustrates how internet users age 16 above prefer to access the internet at home and in other places. Summarize the information in the pie chart by selecting and reporting the main features. Now study this pie chart. You will see that there are 5 elements: smartphone, laptop, tablet, and desktop. The smartphone is represented with blue color, laptop with red, tablet with green, desktop or computer with purple shade, and then the light sky color, sky blue color, that is for others. What is the minimum number? That is others. Smartphone, 33% internet users aged 16 above, they are using smartphone to access internet. And to access internet, 30% internet users are using laptop, 19% users are using tablet, and 14% users, they are using desktop to access internet. So this is the very simple data that I have provided you. Now you will have to give a comparative study also. If we compare smartphone and laptop, you will find they are the uppermost being used by the internet user. These two devices are used maximum by the users, and there is the difference of only 3% between smartphone and laptop users. And if we compare the smartphone with the desktop or computer, you will find there is 14% persons users are there who are using desktop computer, and this is comparatively less than tablet, smartphone and laptop. And the minimum users are 4% who are using other than these devices like desktop, smartphone, laptop and tablet. Now at the last you will have to write conclusion. What you will write in conclusion? Which is the maximum device used by the internet users? That is smartphone. In future also you will tell about your opinion that in future we think that smartphone will be the device that will be maximum in use. So how to begin this paragraph? You will have to tell the information just as given in the question. The the pie chart below illustrates how internet users age 16 above prefer to access the internet at home and in other places. This is the detail. This graph shows the results of a survey in which people aged 16 and over were asked about their preferred devices for accessing the internet. The question referred to going online at home and in other places. The participants mentioned four main devices in their answers: a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, and a desktop computer. So try to find out what are the questions that are answered in the introduction. Number one, this is a result of a survey. About what? About the people age 16 above. What they have been asked for? What is the survey about? This survey is about the preference of these people for that they are using devices for accessing the internet. Where? At home and in other places. And what are the five devices that are mentioned here? Smartphone, laptop, tablet and desktop computer. So these are the elements that you have to mention in introduction. Then come to body. In body, first of all, you will individually you will give the detail, and then you will give a comparison study. From the pie chart, it is clear that the majority of the participants prefer to use smartphones and the laptop. Means which are the devices used maximum by the users? That is smartphones and laptop. And what is the difference between the number of or the number of these people who are using smartphone and laptop? That is only of 3%, because laptop is used by the 30% users and smartphone is 33. So what is the difference? This is a 3%. First we have given about what is maximum, and then we have given the comparison. Nearly a third of participants prefer to go online with a smartphone. 30% like to use a laptop. A desktop computer accounts for 14% of users. How much percent of people they are using computers to access internet? That is only 14%. Only a small minority prefer a device other than these main four. Only 4%. In conclusion, since mobile and portable devices are the most popular choices, it is clear that many participants are accessing the internet outside their homes. The desktop computer is the least popular of the four main devices. In future, we can probably expect to see more and more people accessing the internet with smartphones as their preferred choice. Now look at the conclusion. In conclusion, we are telling what is the present scenario and what is going to what is to be going on in the future. It is clear that many participants accessing the internet outside their homes. This is the first thing that we reached at the conclusion. The desktop computer is the least popular of the four main devices. What is going to take place in future? We can probably expect means hope to see more and more people accessing the internet with smartphones if we compare it with the other choices. Now come to the line graph. Look at this table. Look at this line graph given here. It is representing the population in India and China from 2000 to 2050. The dark purple line representing India and the light purple line is representing China. And on the line X, you will find that the years are given 2000, 2010, 2020, 2030, 40, and 50. And population is detailed in billions. 1 billion, 1.1 billion, 1.2 billion, 1.3 billion, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7 billion. Now you will have to look at this line graph very carefully, because unless you study or analyze it carefully, you won't be able to write it. So what you will have to see, you will see in what happens in what is 2002. 2002 is past. What is 2002? 2002 is present because it is going on. And what is 2050? This will what will happen in future. Now come at the comparison. What is the population of India and China in 2000? And what is the population of India and China? What will be in 2030, because 2030 is future. And what will happen in 2050? This is a comparison. Now look at the trend also. You will see the chart or the line of India that is representing India's population is going upward. And what you analyze about the China's population, it is going upward but very slowly. And then here it becomes constant. After this, you will find that it has come at the stagnant point. Means in suppose in 2025 and 2030, it will remain same. China's population will remain same. But what you notice here, that from 2030, the graph of India is going up. It is more than China's population. And what you see, China's population is coming down after reaching its peak point. This is called the peak point. This is peak point and it remains same until 2030. 2030 is a peak time, and after that it will start coming down. So this is represented here. Now come to the question, what is the population of China in 2000? In 2000, it is 1.25. And what is in 2000 of India's? This is 1 billion. So this is the difference. It is increasing. Now you can see here in 2010, what will be the population of China? It is 1.35, and while the India's will be less than 1.2. So what is the difference about between the China's population and India's population? This is a study that you have to make, and then you will have to write a paragraph. This graph shows a result of a survey in which people aged 16 and the graph shows how the populations of India and China have changed since 2000 and how they will change in the future. This you will write in introduction. What has been presented in this graph and what it has a link with the time. Then you will come to the body part. Then you will give a comparison study of India's and China's population year wise. First you will give it what happens in 2000, then in a period of 2000 to 2010, and then 230, and then 250. In this way you will give, you will have a detailed information about the India and China's population. In 2000, there were more people living in China than in India. When we start with 2000, you will find that the China's population was more than India. It was, the number of Chinese was 1.25 billion, while the India's population was only 1 billion. There was a difference about what? You can find out between 2000 and 2000 what happens, what is the situation, what is the scenario here. There has been a 0.2 billion rise in the number of Indian citizens if we compare it with the Chinese. Over the same period, if I talk about the same period, that is 2000 to 2010, China's population has increased by 0.1 billion to reach over 1.35 billion. According to the graph, the population in India will increase more quickly than in China. And expert says that what will be the future of India in 2030? Both countries will have the same population of 1.5 billion. You can see here what is the population of India and China. As you can see here, we are not talking about this, but we come to here. This point, this is the point where the line graph of India and China meeting each other. So this point is called that India and China has the same population. Okay. And after this, China's population is likely to fall slightly to 1.4, while India's population will probably increase. You can see here, after this point, you will find that India's graph is going upward, whereas China's graph is going downward. So if this situation persists, then what will happen? Yes, China's population is likely to fall slightly to 1.4 billion in 2050, while India's population will probably increase and reach 1.6 billion. So what conclusion you arrive at? Thus, over the 50-year period, India is going to experience steady growth, a fast growth in its population, and it will overtake China. If this kind of situation persists, then what is going to take place? The India's population will overtake China. On the other hand, China's population will peak. Peak is called the maximum highest point in 2030 and then begin to fall. So this was the uh, graph that we have studied now, the line graph. Now come to the table. Here we have a table of London 2012 Olympic Games, and on the basis of the rank by gold, we have got the information about different countries: United States, China, Great Britain, Russia, South Korea, Germany, France, Italy, Hungary, and Australia. This place has been given to the countries on the basis of the gold medals they have won. Just as you see in the gold medal, this is United States have won 46 gold medals, China 38, Great Britain 29, Russia 24, South Korea 13, Germany 11, France 11, Italy 8, Hungary 8, and Australia 7. If we compare it with the total numbers, then United States is on the higher rank, as the total number of medals won by it, that is 104, and China 88, Great Britain 65, Russia 82, South Korea 28, Germany 44, France 34, Italy 28, Hungary 17, and the last one Australia is 35. So you will see that the Hungary is the least performer in the Olympic Games. And if we compare United States with China, you will see the difference that the total number of United States is more than China. And China has won less gold medals than United States. Not only in gold medals, but even in silver and bronze medal, China's numbers of winning medal is less than United States. Similarly, if we will do comparison between Great Britain and Russia, you will see, although the Russia's gold medal is less than Great Britain, but silver and bronze medals are more won by Russia in comparison to Great Britain. Similarly, you can do the comparison between the South Korea and Germany, and France and Italy, Hungary and Australia. So let's give the information in form of paragraph. The table shows the number of medals won by the top 10 countries in the London 2012 Olympic Games. The USA won greatest number of medals overall with a total of 104, or you can say 104, and they won more gold medals than silver and more medals than any other country in both categories. As you can see that the USA the is on the number one countries, because the USA has won more gold medals than any other countries, not only in it but in silver and more medals. China had the second place, as it has won 88 medals. And similar to the USA, we can say that China won fewer silver medals than gold medals. Now if we compare Russia with Britain, then what does this survey say? While Russia's silver medal total was better than Great Britain's, they did not do as well as Great Britain in the gold medals, winning just only 24. In fact, Great Britain had a lower overall medal total than Russia, but as the table is based on the number of gold medals won, they were placed third. Similarly, there is a comparison between Germany and South Korea. Germany was significantly more successful at winning medals than South Korea, with a total of 44 compared to South Korea's 28. But because South Korea won two more gold medals than Germany, they were ranked higher. Australia gave the worst performance in this group, winning only 7 gold and 16 silver medals. Yes, in this way, you have found that after giving a detailed information and a comparison study, a comparison between these countries, you can give this information. Overall, the best performance was United States and the worst performance was Hungary in Olympics held in 2012. Although it has won more gold medal than than Australia. Even then, it will be called the less or the least performer of the year 2012 in Olympic Games. So this was how to write the analytical paragraph on different types of graphs, just like table, chart, or pie chart, or you can say the line graph or the bar graph. I hope you have understood all these types. Thank you very much.